All right, so moving on to the next matchup. Bob, take it away with your Baltimore Ravens.
Oh gosh, where do I begin? I think they have just a little bit of drama. I mean, this whole Lamar situation is completely up in the air. I think he kind of tested out his knee a little bit today. Didn't really work out. It's apparently some swelling still going on there. Lots of speculation out there that there's little personal issues there that he's not going to play. He's not going to be on the field again until he gets paid.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Interesting.
a lot of speculation out there for that. I mean, this has turned into 5 missed games, 5 weeks, and earlier in the season, I think even in the preseason when I was doing some shows, I predicted that Lamar would miss a chunk of this year due to a knee injury. And not that that was kind of weird and everything. He missed some time last season as well, but a lot of people, was putting out there how much he bulked up this offseason. I mean, he put on like over 20 pounds of muscle. And, if you're not really ready for that, if your body's not built for that, and as much stress as he puts on his knees, ligaments, and everything there, I was very, very concerned about a possible knee injury. Luckily, it wasn't like an ACL or anything, but I was very, very scared for that. And so this injury doesn't necessarily surprise me. However, if it is contract related and he just doesn't want to play again until he's paid, it's probably 50-50 out there. Some people would agree with him and, Baltimore fans would not. They want to see him get on the field. I mean, he's our best chance of winning. I mean, we were averaging almost 30 points a game this season when he's on the field, and we're averaging 13 points a game or something with Tyler Huntley. I mean, it's a drastic, drastic difference. And so heading into Sunday night, um, who knows? I personally don't see Lamar playing, and I think Vegas sees it that way as well because every day now that line jumps up more and more and more. That spread is just getting further apart.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, it does not look like Lamar's playing, and Tyler Huntley, on the other hand, is not throwing. He has tendonitis. He's got a shoulder issue. He practiced today, but he did not throw the football, and he's not really a great passer to begin with. So if he's got shoulder issues going into Sunday night, holy moly! If they played less than a week ago, and Baltimore's defense does match up well with them, but they can't put any points on the board. So that's what's going to hurt. That's what.
Yeah, I basically have a similar concern. I just kind of go off of your points. 6 straight weeks of scoring less than 20 points, and if they're going to hang with the Bengals, they basically need to put points on the board unless they can, you know, get some turnovers and try to control the clock. Because I mean, it's hard to you can't really say how it went in week 18 is how it's going to be this week. Because there's no J.K. Dobbins, there's no Mark Andrews in that game. Obviously, to keep them fresh for the playoffs because they were already guaranteed. Um, but it is an unfortunate thing because they're such a well coached team, very strong defense still. Mostly, and then just 2 years in a row here of just really tough injuries have to overcome. So this season did not get a lot of Rashad Bateman, still didn't get a ton of J.K. Dobbins until like mid-season or so, and then even at that, it was kind of shaky at best. And of course, without Lamar, it's just tough. It's a really tough thing. But how about Calais Campbell? Is he going to be available
Yeah.
this
Campbell's
weekend?
going to
Okay.
go. It's going to go. You were talking about these injuries and these players getting sat and everything. I read something the other day that was kind of wild, and it was like, um, in the last 2 years. Well, I don't know if I think it was just a stat that said that there's not been a time that the Ravens have had Lamar, J.K., Ronnie Stanley, um, Rashad Bateman, and someone else on the field at the same time. That
Oh my gosh.
has never played on the same field together during the game. So that's kind of wild. What could
Jeez.
be. So
All these first and second round investments and they can't play together. It's not ideal, but it is just an unbelievably well coached team, and I guess it doesn't look great. I guess like the chances going into this game against the Bengals, but it's just one of these things. It's like, well, it's better for the Ravens to be in than I guess like the Steelers to be in, right? So it's one of those things. But yeah, it is a unfortunate draw, if you will. And I really do hope that Lamar is able to play. But I guess if there's a little something behind the scenes about the contract, then that's a whole nother hurdle to overcome. So
Oh,
that's too bad.
absolutely.
Yeah. Um, so, say the Ravens don't make it through. Who would be your prediction for the Super Bowl winner of this season from what we know at this point of what we've seen so far across the league?
Well, I think if I was predicting right now, I would go Philly over Buffalo. So I know
Oh,
you have already spoken a little bit about Philly versus Buffalo. I don't know how you could not, pick those two as of right now. But I would have Philadelphia over them. I just think that the pass rush and the defensive line would be the difference there. I think they put enough pressure on Josh Allen to kind of hold them, and I think the Philly will have no problem putting up points against that defense. So anyway, but yeah, yeah, I don't know what to expect this way. I mean, Baltimore put up. I mean, Baltimore can play very, very well against the Bengals. I mean, they've held Joe Burrow and I mean, they've held him in check both times, both meetings this year. Um, I think back in week 5, they held him to 217 yards passing. That's it.
okay.
He only
Yeah.
he only had one passing touchdown, I guess, and that was like Hayden Hurst. Kind of a little garbage time touchdown in the end. The Ravens end up winning that game. Jamar Chase only had 50 yards receiving in that one. So, and then this past week, the Bengals did put up 27 points, but Baltimore was resting all their starters. So that offense just couldn't move the ball. And so Cincy's offense was on the field quite a bit. However, Burrow was still only held to 215 yards passing, and he had one touchdown to Jamar Chase. Um, so Jamar actually had a pretty decent game. T. Higgins only had one catch for 7 yards.
Yeah.
So I
Yep.
really, really like, Mixon had 27 yards rushing. He did have a touchdown in that one, but the big thing here is that Baltimore's defense can hang with them. They've beaten them once this year. Their defense is better now than it was in week 5 with the acquisition of Roquan.
Yep. Of
Um,
course.
and just, Kyle Hamilton and guys like that playing a lot better, with a little bit more experience. So, some of the key players in that game, obviously, Lamar doesn't look like he's playing. So Tyler Huntley, if he does play, I can't see them putting up enough points to outscore them. Um, they are going to have to run the ball. I think if they have any shot at this, they are going to have to run the ball like early and often. I mean, Kenyon Drake, I believe, had 60 yards last week against them and I believe a touchdown. So J.K. Dobbins is a lot more explosive and has quite a bit better vision in the backfield. So I'm really excited to see what he can do Sunday night. But I think in order for Baltimore to have any chance at all, they're going to have to run the ball and keep Burrow and keep that offense, on ice on that field and just play a dirty, nasty, sloppy, boring game and keep
Yep.
them, keep that ball. And things got chippy the other night when they were playing. And a lot of Cincinnati players have been barking all week saying Baltimore was playing dirty towards the end of the game, taking cheap shots, diving at knees and doing things like that. So a lot of these Cincinnati players say we owe them, we're not going to forget
Mm.
this. We owe them, next week. So I kind of hope they do. I hope they take their mind off the game. If Baltimore can get in their head and kind of take them out of their comfort zone, then maybe they will have a little bit of a shot. Um, but that's it. That's a big if. I don't think that they can win because they just throw the ball too much. I don't get it. They want to throw because they have been absolutely incredible running the ball, but they just abandon it for no reason. It's like they just somebody's playing Madden and no one wants to, when somebody's playing Madden, they don't want to just run. They just want to keep throwing.
Right.
And so that's what it's like watching a Ravens game right now. So if, the stars align and Lamar does play, I kind of actually predict the Ravens will beat them. And I kind of would say maybe like a 27-23 ball game there, but I don't see him playing. So I've got the Ravens losing probably like 30-20. Um, so I don't have the highest hopes if Tyler Huntley's in there, unless they, like I said, unless they just play an ugly, dirty, just grind it out, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. That's their only chance.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very fair assessment. I know you're a very passionate and confident Ravens fan, but it just seems like it's very grounded right now. Just because you see what the reality of the situation is. But
Yeah, I'm
but I
not going to
do,
the game.
yeah.
I was gonna go to the game, especially if Lamar was playing, but now that he's not,
Oh, gotcha,
every time I go to Cincinnati, I get in fights. Every time. It's inevitable. I mean,
gotcha.
yeah, I'm gonna avoid that. I'm gonna sit on the couch and,
You just
scream at
stay
my
warm.
television.
You can stay warm in your house and not worry about the cold and and all that fun stuff.
Absolutely, yeah,
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah, and no fights. So that's good. But yeah, I appreciate your perspective, Bob, and thanks for coming on.
absolutely.